Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we take the Aprilia Pegaso, this budget bike, and put it through its paces. Cue the intro. So, Psychic,
Yep.
You bought this in literally bits. Well, it's more than one bike, isn't it? It's two bikes?
Well, I actually bought two bikes, one of which was supposedly together. This one, well, part of this one was semi in bits. So, yes, it's two bikes, two bad bikes made into one reasonable bike.
And the thing of it is as well, is that you have fixed it a while ago. You've been working on all the niggles and all the other stuff, but you've not actually taken it on any kind of proper ride, proper adventure as of yet. So we don't even know if it works properly. Now, currently, you can pick these up for about 1,500 quid. 1,500 quid in the current market for an adventure bike is unbelievably cheap. So this could be a game changer for many people, because this could open up their world into doing what we do.
Yeah, well, as if anybody watches it, have seen I had the other Pegaso, the slightly newer version. People never heard of this. This is the older version. There is actually an older version than this as well, and they are cheap. They're cheap as chips. They suffer with a couple of common problems, but if you get one that's had those issues sorted, they're good, solid bikes and real budget busters. You know, they're good, capable off-road and on-road bikes.
So what is the stats? What is the big number everybody cares about? And that's all they really want to know, is what's the horsepower and what's the torque? Give it to us.
50 horsepower and 43 Newton meters of torque. This compared to the newer version, which was the one I had before, which was a 660 engine. This has not got the mid-range power that had at all. This is completely different, but this top end, this is a lot higher top speed. Well, a lot higher. It's about 10 mile an hour top speed. Supposedly, not that I've checked it, officer.
Well, in theory, this for 1,500 quid could be absolutely incredible. So what we'll do, we'll have a walk around of the bike, and then we'll show you what we're going to first of all do to this bike. So to test this bike properly, to take this Aprilia and put it through its paces, this is the first thing we're going to do. We are going green lane in proper helmet head, true style. Obviously, I'll be riding my Himalayan, virtually brand new bike, putting it through the same paces. But today I want to concentrate as much as we can on the Aprilia. But look at our first little river crossing. So that looks quite cool. So I'm going to go through on the Himalayan. Now these are £4,699. That is 1,500. But I'm going to go through to capture the epic shot of obviously that going through the river and hopefully not breaking down midway through. But already on that £1,500 bike, it's got to negotiate his way through this rocky part here, into the water here. Fucking, that's a lot deeper than it looks. And then back out the other end here in true style. Let's see if it can do it as epically as a bike that's £4,600. Here we go. This is your big moment now to tackle this.
Here I come. Right. Ooh, already got these in the front end.
Come on, let's prove this bad boy can do it.
Yes! That was a bit deeper than I thought it was going to be. And it's cut out.
Is it cut out? It looked good. Did it feel good? Did it make you feel like you're on fire?
I got water up my arms and everything. I think I must have gone through the deep part.
It did it though. That's his first challenge done.
Yeah, just got to get to start again.
You went through that quick, dude.
I gunned it. Look, I'm soaking.
But you feel good, right? It looked good. It looked good. Well, I think you can agree that little Aprilia for £1,500 just did that in true style. The sidekick is drenched. Water is pouring off of this bike, but that looked absolutely epic. The one thing is though, it cut out before he stopped, so we don't know if it runs. But our next challenge now is to continue down this green lane, this rocky road, and hopefully see if this bike stays together and can do it, obviously, in true 11 out of 10 style. Right, so let's fire her back up. Let's hope she fires back up.
Right, well this... No.
See what this bad boy's like. We'll just ignore all the smoke from the water coming off of it. Nothing to see there.
Yeah, she's coughing and spluttering a bit, but
she's looking good though, dude.
Yeah, I mean this is a bit of a different riding position to my other Aprilia. The other Aprilia, the bars are up a lot higher, and the tyres are not so good on this. But so far, ooh, tiptoeing around here. It feels all right.
So in regards to handling, you definitely feel this version compared to the newer version's got lower down bars, so it's probably less off-road capable than your other one?
Yeah, I mean it is nice having those bars up a bit higher on the other one, but then when you were road riding on that other one, felt like you were riding with ape hangers a bit sometimes. But I think once I get used to this, I think it will be alright. But I think the main thing at the minute is these tyres. It's got shit tyres on it.
You look like you're handling this quite nice. It's quite overgrown as well from the last time we actually came down this track.
Yeah, I mean like that other one, I did a few miles on that. I was quite confident on that in the end. This, like I say, with the bars being like this and the tyres, I've not quite got the confidence on it yet. But it will come. You'll
get there, big boy, you'll get there. Most important thing is that the bike itself, so far, on this very short bit that we've done, you've not actually had anything fall off of it.
No, not yet. There's still plenty of time yet, isn't there? I mean, since I've put it all back together, I've literally, all I've done this week is run it to work and back, and this is going to be the furthest this trip this bike has been on in at least 14 years, because that was the last time it was on the road.
That bike is a X-Reg, so what, 2000?
2001 it was registered.
2001. Any little niggles, any little things that you've kind of read upon or you've sort of found with your little trips going to and from work?
Well, at the minute, obviously, as you heard when we were starting earlier, it's a lazy starting, which I can't quite get to the bottom of yet. I've tried a few different things, still to sort that out. But apart from its lazy starting, it's not too bad. Obviously, I've done a lot of work on this. We mentioned the common faults with these earlier, with these engines, which is the head gasket and the water pump seals, both of which I've replaced when I did the engine work. So this should be good now for quite a few miles to come. They are quite good, reliable engines once you've changed your head gasket on them.
So that's a big thing to look out for then, is the head gasket. If anyone's looking to pick one of these up nice and cheap, is definitely take a big look at sort of your oil, make sure there's no water in it, etc, etc, etc. There's no sign of milking.
Make sure that it's got antifreeze in it and not water, because I'm on one of the forums for these, and that's what people always put. What's wrong with my bike? It's blowing water out everywhere, and it's always the head gasket.
Well, as we're riding on this picturesque green lane with sheep running around with excitement because they've sensed our manliness, I've got to say, it looks pretty good, your bike. And now, it's obviously got the aftermarket exhaust on, and it makes a lovely popping sound, but it's a good looking bike, isn't it? It's not, for its age, it looks to me very much like a Honda Transalp. Very, very similar looking bike.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they've kind of kind of tried to go after, isn't it? It's that market. This is actually, I mean, I think we've mentioned it before in previous videos, but this and the BMW F650 of the same sort of age, we're going to go right, are all of are pretty much based the same. The F650 originally came out the same factory as these, so they share a lot of similar parts and all the rest of it. So that was the market Aprilia was trying to go for, but unfortunately in the UK never really got recognised for it. These are quite big abroad, but not in the UK.
See, the really interesting thing of it is you could actually buy 3 of your bike to 1 Himalayan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you buy an older bike, a 1,500 quid bike, you've got to expect to maintain it a bit more, you've got to expect to do things to it a bit more. You're not going to get on it and have, you know, the riding, ease of riding that you are on your Himalayan, because they're an older bike and you do need to do stuff to them more often. So, you know, yeah, like you say, it is cheaper, but you can't just, you get that thing with older, more cheaper bikes where you do have to do stuff to them more, don't you?
Well, that's the biggest thing of all, isn't it? You've got the warranty, you've got the, you know, the less used moving parts, of course, but it's just an interesting fact to say how little, really, 1,500 quid so far, mate, that's gone for a river crossing. It's hammering down these country roads just as good as a virtually new bike is. And if you do fall off of that, you do drop it, you're not that worried.
No, well, I mean, this has got battle scars and everything on it already. And the good thing about building this out of 2 bikes is I have got plenty of spares.
You're basically about to become the Pegaso stroke pedo specialist.
Yeah, well, I have been selling off a few bits and bobs to try and recoup a bit of money, but yeah.
But so far, you're happy with it?
Yeah, I'm more than happy with it, to be honest with you. Like I say, I've gone through, I've done those common issues, so I know for the time being this is going to be okay. I've got a couple of little things that I need to do to it. That starting issue, and I will probably at some point put some better tyres on it as well. So
some proper knobblies.
Maybe not full on knobblies, but something a bit better.
Yeah, big knobblies, make it look me like Mad Max.
Well, I mean, it handles all right. It rides nicely on the road. And so far off-road, it's fine. It feels well balanced, it's not top heavy, I don't struggle with it in any way.
It looks good, to be fair, it looks like a good bike, and it's just handled that little bit of green lane in style. I'm impressed that nothing's falling off, it's not making some kind of hideous noise. 1,500 quid, mate, it's impressive stuff. See, there is something about adventure bikes, no matter what the price, and getting out on these green lanes when, like, we've literally come across a couple of walkers with dogs the whole sort of time we've been doing this off-road, and from budget to spending more, this is something where freedom is, where you're not held back by the chaos of the roads, the cities, the towns, just getting out on bikes and doing this. So I think the thing that we're trying to say is that you can get an awesome adventure bike for 1,500 quid that can go off-roading, green lane, and do your adventures and everything else. Yes, you're going to have problems with it, yes, there's going to be niggles, but it's part of the character of the bike. So hopefully you've seen that a £1,500 Aprilia can be an awesome machine.